I'm Emily Burnham, a marriage and family therapist, and you're watching Elevate with Emily. Today, I want to share my personal journey in relationship with imposter syndrome. I think in most careers, you can experience imposter syndrome, but it is so raw and vulnerable as a therapist because you are the only one in the room with your client, right? From a day-to-day basis, it's you and your clients. And you're in this position of power, and hopefully you're cognizant of that, right? And so you recognize that what I say, what I do is going to have a huge impact on my client, and they're in a very vulnerable position. And yes, I go to supervision. Yes, I record sessions and show some of those sessions in supervision, but not every session is being watched. A lot of those sessions, it's just you and the client. There's a lot of pressure of, am I doing this right? Am I meeting their needs? Could I be doing better, or would they be doing better with someone else, right? Because we don't get to always see other people's work. And so it's just a lot of unknowns about what we're doing, especially as we're trying to find our place as a new baby therapist. We're trying to find what model works for us, what is going to be good for our client, just gain experience. And there's no other way to gain experience than by just gaining the experience. So it sucks because you're like, I'm sorry, I don't have experience with this specific issue, but I kind of need to get that experience by helping you and floundering my way through it. And so we can just feel so vulnerable and isolated and alone, and oftentimes be thinking like, oh, like my client would be progressing so much quicker or better if they were just with a more experienced therapist. And so it's just so tough to be a new therapist. And imposter syndrome is so common among new therapists, or doesn't even matter how long you've been practicing. I talk to more experienced therapists who still will struggle with imposter syndrome. And today I want to talk about how I wouldn't say overcame, because it can hit you at any time from time to time, but how I really learned how to manage it and for it to not affect me so badly. The first thing was, as I was, just literally wanting to quit, because I was like, I am overwhelmed. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know if I'm helping my clients, right? Just a total meltdown. Like, I just need to quit. I suck. All of that. As I was just praying and reaching out to resources, other people talking, this thought, this inspiration came to me. You can't be an imposter if you're just being yourself. And that really hit me because it made me realize that I was trying to appear more qualified than I was, which, I mean, I'm qualified. I have the master's degree. I have the license, whatever. But I was trying to maybe dress more professionally or act more prim and proper, like trying to put on this show of like, yes, I know what I'm doing, instead of just being comfortable with where I'm at, with my style of clothing, with my style of talking, with my floundering, bumbling words, and just embracing that and even bringing that into the therapy room and saying, hey, I'm awkward in the first session too. I don't know if you're gonna like me or not. Like, we're trying to figure out if we're a good fit for each other. So like, it's normal to kind of feel that way. Instead of, first session being so in my head, do I look like I'm a professional? Am I coming across the right way? And so a huge thing was just that reminder to be yourself. And that allows you to be present. And so already you're gonna be doing a billion times better therapy from that present, more relaxed state than this anxious, I don't know if they like me or what I'm doing, and then you're in your head, and then you're just misattuning. You're not even there with your client, right? So the first thing is just literally being okay and comfortable with being yourself. And the second thing that really, really helped me was seeking out additional trainings and support. I realized that I did this master's program in marriage and family. And so I was systemically trained. I felt very comfortable with whole families. Like, give me a whole family of 7, boom, like I know kind of what to do, how to work it, right? Give me a couple, I've just got training in couples, like boom, I got this. I'm confident with couples. Give me an individual. I didn't learn any individual models of therapy. Like, how do I work with this one person? Like, I've only ever been trained when there's other people in the room. And so I was getting all these individuals because most of the clientele are individuals. And so or kids, and I'm like, I wasn't trained in play therapy or sanctuary therapy. Like, I don't know those models of therapy very well. And so it would bring out all these insecurities. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But the game changer was just researching and listening to free trainings on YouTube. I looked up all the free trainings I could on YouTube, specifically with EFT, and I have over 100 videos in my playlist, and I'm just working my way through those videos. And most of them are 30 to 60 minutes long. And so if you think of that, it's almost like 100 hours of trainings that you're getting under your belt. And again, low cost free trainings, because as this new therapist, you're not making much. As an intern, you're working for free. You are doing school, you are working part-time. So just being able to listen while cleaning or food prepping, or if you have a job that you're able to multitask and listen while you design or do whatever you're doing on your office job or pest control, I don't know. But if you're able to listen, then it's going to be boosting your confidence. Like, okay, I do know what I'm doing. I do have these trainings to prove that I am competent in this area. And in fact, going and seeking certification trainings, which are pricey, but it makes you worth what you charge to go get those certifications, to go get those trainings. Even if they're pricey, it's going to be night and day difference in your confidence and your ability to work with and experience the model. It's so worth it. And it's really gonna help you to feel more secure in the therapy you're doing. And finally, with imposter syndrome, it may be because you're not getting enough support, you don't have enough training, or your specialty isn't narrow enough. And so again, like, you've gotten all this training on working with couples, and then all you're getting are kids and individuals. Of course you're gonna feel like an imposter. That wasn't your specialty. That wasn't what you got trained in. And so seeking out the right support, maybe your supervisor is just throwing all kinds of clients at you, and as an intern, you just have to kind of take whatever you're given, or you're worried about meeting your hours, and so you just take on all these really tough cases that are maybe actually outside of your scope of competence. And so of course you're going to be feeling like a failure, or like you don't know what you're doing when you are given this client with schizophrenia, or you're given a client with an eating disorder and you have no training in that, and you feel like you just have these very basic skills. Of course you're going to be feeling like an imposter. And so just normalizing that, and then setting better boundaries of the clients that you will and won't take, and recognizing you're doing clients a service, because if you don't have that specialty, then you're not going to be able to give them the help that they need. And so don't be afraid to turn away kids, to turn away teens, to turn away couples, to turn away individuals, if you genuinely feel that it's outside of your scope of competence and you're not able to get the training at that time. Because you can't be an expert in everything. Trust me, I tried, it did not go well for me. So, if maybe you want to take on kids and you don't have the specialized training yet, but your supervisor does, and they're certified and they're helping you get that training and they're supervising it really close, then it's okay to take on those clients even if they're outside your scope, because your supervisor is in that scope. You're working towards that certification. But then on top of that, to try to take on eating disorders, PTSD, EMDR, like all these other things that you're simply not trained in, it's just gonna be too much and really contribute to you feeling like you don't know what you're doing. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more great content. You do know what you're doing, and you got this.